Yeah, I'm glad you're here. It's going well. How's your day going? Beautiful.
All right. Good. Offering?
Absolutely.
Also good.
That made you happy. Nice. Nice.
If anybody brought any medicine to add to the altar, please feel free to add your medicine, your gifts to be charged here. While we're at logistically, if anybody's new and has not received a parking pass, I have one here for you. Did you get parking paid for yet? No. Someone would be generous enough to place this parking pass on this young woman's dashboard. She'll let you know where that is.
Oh, I can go do it.
Unless she wants to do it herself.
I'm all right.
On which altar?
And the altar you want.
Okay.
Your choice. What's in there?
So.
Is that the medicine? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And each of them has medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
What's it?
No, but I would like to.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Welcome new people. Come on into the circle. You don't belong in the outside of the circle, you belong in the circle. And Z, let's bring the puppy in. Let's not let the puppy wander. Although we love Zavi, as the puppies, they tend to be a distraction from the prayer. So, but smoke that kind of smoke Thank you, Parky. Thank you, Smudger. Parky. New people, we're gonna smudge off. Smudge off before we really begin. I'll just break it up to you.
Yeah.
So again, welcome everyone. Welcome. Thank you. My name is Kanika Whitmack-Wass, Standing Bear, Soto Tribe, Fishing Lake First Nations, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60s Scoop Survivor, international published author, and it's my honor to be here with you today and on this beautiful day. And the Cloud Nations are being very, very gentle with us today, and it's a good day. It's a good day to be here. It's a good day to celebrate life. You know, we may come here for a lot of reasons, and that is good. Come here to build a circle, to be part of a circle, to meet new friends, to heal. Maybe some of you are fighting a battle you don't talk about, and we welcome all of you here. We don't welcome just the best of you. We need to welcome the altar here, the ancestors here. We welcome all of you. And that is important that you know that we are not just here to present a picture of perfection, because none of us are perfect here. But what we want to do is we want to be a little better than we did yesterday. We want to be better people. We want to be a better relative. We want to do those good things. And you know, there's a lot of struggle out there, and I get that, and I understand that. But we come here for one reason. That's it. That's it. One reason. And that is to celebrate life. Without life, we have nothing. And I'm not just talking about our personal life, because that would be selfish. I come here to stop drinking. I come here to get what I need. I come here to get what I need to hear. And that's good, but you're missing why you're here. You see, there's two types of conversations that we're having right here, right now. Some of you might be a little confused, and that's okay. We have the I conversation. I come here for this. I came here 35 years ago to stop drinking. I stay here for you. And I figured that out a long time ago. I've been doing this way for 35 years. You know, so we want to offer all of you here. To offer every single one of you. And there's a lot of parts of you. You may present in one, but there's so many other parts of you that we need to be here. That need to be here, that need to be present. There's that little one inside you. That little one. Maybe that little one suffered some abuse, some trauma. Maybe your parents weren't available. Maybe other people did things to you. And maybe there's a youth in there who was angry and upset at this world and at this life. And maybe some of you decided you don't want to be here anymore. And I get that. And that is also welcome here. We need all of that right here. We need all of that right here. We need you to be here. In order for the healing of one is the healing of all. So if I withdraw aside from me, I'm withdrawing aside of healing within you. So again, I've been doing this for about 35 years. It's important that you know me. That's what you know who you're sitting with, right? That's really important that you know. And I was born on Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, came to Treaty 4 territory. And on the day of my birth, the Canadian government came in, the military police came in, and they took me, and they put me in an orphanage 3,000 miles away. And my first memory was of a big room with a lot of beds. And I had a lot of names growing up. You know, you see, because they moved us from home to home, house to house, right? And so I had a lot of names. And my name was 8, 7, 11, 14, 13, 3, 2, 1, 5, 6, 8, you know. because every time they moved me, then they keep my name. My name was the bed that I was assigned to. And so I moved around, and that's just how life was. I grew up scared of white faces because there was a bunch of Indians, but just like me, and we were brown skinned. And then the white faces would come in, and they would do things. They would do things to us. One of those things that they did was, and this memory came up not that long ago, in the last 10 or maybe 10 years ago. You know, they would make there'd be 10 kids and then 5 plates of food, and then they would make us fight for the food. And then they would laugh at us. And these were the Catholics and the Christians. And then they told us that we had to be just like them. That you need to be saved. You need Jesus. You needed all these things that we had. So my life began in survival mode. Survival. And some of you are triggered right now, and that's okay. This is the best place for you to be triggered. This is the best place. Because what I discovered here, when I met my elder at about the age of 20, I did not grow up in the States. I was bought and sold to a white American family and brought to the States. That's how I have my American accent, which is a little embarrassing when I travel the world. To associate my American accent with being a Trump supporter. I'm going to smudge it. Yeah. I think every American is a Trump supporter, you know, and so talk about that later. And so I was bought and sold by to a white American family. Grew up just very quickly. Entered into a world, the dark world of drugs and alcohol. I'm a survivor of 17 suicide attempts, so I know the darkness. I know the darkness. I met a man who changed my life at the age of 20. And I was sitting outside a colonial recovery circle, it was AA, and I was sitting there debating what I was going to do. I was debating whether I was going to go into that meeting and sit with a bunch of white people. Or I looked down that road there, down that dark and lonely road, and I was making that decision. And then I heard a voice that said, "Hey, Indian!" And of course I looked around and I saw this older gentleman. And he asked me if I wanted to go to a ceremony. And all I heard was, "Do you want to hang out with me?" That's all I heard. You know, I didn't hear ceremony. I didn't know anything about ceremony. You know, I was brought up in a world of blame, shame, and guilt. So one of those things that I felt very shameful of, that I didn't know myself, I didn't know my culture. So when they would ask me what kind of Indian you were, what kind of Indian? What kind of Indian? You know, I got angry at that. And I would say, what kind of white person? What percent is white person? Do you speak your language? You know, so I just turned it back on them. What kind of white person? You know? But it comes from a place of hurt. It comes from a place of shame. And so I grew up fighting. I grew up with violence. That's what they taught me. That's what the white faces taught me. That's what the Bible taught me. That's what the Catholics taught me. How to fight. So I came here with all this stuff. Come in the circle, please. Yeah, come in the circle. So there's a couple places.
There's a couple spots.
And over here.
Energetic.
Just come walk around here. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna sponge off too.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. Hey, okay. Yeah, Shanti
Is
says
it
my
cool
call.
if we make space for her? Right, yeah. Come on around.
Welcome. Okay, you know, lights.
I got it, it's burning.
Okay, right. Right. Okay, just be here. Okay, all right, thank you. Because we love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Okay, good. All right, good. Welcome. Again, welcome everyone. And so I began this walk about 35 years ago when Tony Stonehawk, my elder, said, why don't you come to ceremony with me? And of course I had no idea what that was. And so we went to a sweat lodge ceremony. And the altar was there, it looked a lot like this. I was ashamed again of what I didn't know. You know, there's a world out there that told me a narrative that wasn't true. They told me dark-skinned people that they're ugly. Your hair is ugly. Your lip is ugly. I speak with a lisp. I speak with them. Sometimes I speak with a stutter. They said you're learning disabled. They said you'll never be successful. And so they were dictating the narrative of my future. And of course they were the authority. So of course I believed them. I needed to believe the narrative that they offered me. But you see, we live in a very sick world. The looping fear, the looping narrative, the looping expectations, which we all live by. We all live by expectations. But what are our expectations based off of? Is it based off the I or the we? I came here for the I. I did not want to kill myself. I did not want to drink. I did not want to hurt you. And I didn't know how not to hurt you. I didn't know how not to hurt myself. Until I came here. Until Tony said, you know what he said? He said, just come sit with me. Just come sit with me. That's all he said. And I didn't understand what that was. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to listen. I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew was that there was an Indian man that wanted me to come to a ceremony. That's all I knew. That's all I knew. But there was a part of me that said this was good. This is a good thing. And then later on, he asked me one question that would save my life. The one question that nobody had ever asked me before. And then he asked me what happened to you? What happened to you? What happened to you? And then I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell him about what they made me do. I couldn't tell him about the food. I couldn't tell him about the violence. I couldn't tell him anything. And I said, Tony, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to respond. Because nobody has ever asked me that before. The therapist, the school guidance counselors, they never said anything. The judge never said anything. The prosecutors never said anything. My defense attorneys never said anything. They always blame me for what I did, my behaviors. Never ask me what happened before the behaviors. And so this is what that is right here. We get to bring all that to right here. That's why I'm saying bring everything here. It's important that we do that. Maybe this is the only time in your life that you'll get the opportunity to do that. To do that. Maybe this is, hopefully you'll get to come here and you'll get to sit in one new circle again. My hope is that. Welcome. Okay. Well, again, this goes for the puppies here. Traditionally we don't allow puppies in the circle, but this is okay. Just don't let the puppy roam. Don't let them roam. So grandfather Tony, my elder, I've been with him for 35 years now. He has given me the right to sit here, the right to sit where I'm at. This is called the honor seat. The honor seat is a place of service. So I am, and it may appear on the outside looking in that I am leading this circle. I am not leading this circle. This is not a patriarchy, this is not a hierarchy, this is not a top-down thing. I am in the service of this circle, right here, this circle. I'm in the service of the Great Spirit. I'm in the service of the Great Mystery. I'm in the service of the ancestors. And I'm in the service of the next 7 generations. I speak on behalf of those cannot be here. They flow through me because we live in 2 worlds. We live in a seen world and we live in an unseen world, intertwined, overlapping. That is who we are. And there's a world out there that tells us that we are something else and something different. But we are intertwined and overlapping. There may be 25 people here, but I tell you what, there's thousands of people here. There's thousands of people. And the colonial narrative is the people are only the 2-legged. And this comes from a very confused place. They think the only wisdom comes from the 2-legged. This comes from a very confused place. So we place our hopes and dreams and prayers on the 2-legged, which is a very confused place. It's confusing to us. And our spirit knows this. It understands it. It says stuff like, I don't belong here. I don't feel good here. This world, I don't feel like there's a circle. I feel sad. I feel lonely. I feel scared. I'm depressed. Who here felt like that? Every hand should go up. Every hand should go up. Because we live in a world that doesn't suit your spirit, or suit your love, or suit who you are, because they're busy telling you what you need to do. They're writing the script for you, and we don't know any better because we didn't grow up these ways. We're gonna say, yeah, I'll do these things. I'll go there. I'll put myself in debt because that's what I'm supposed to do. But the fact is, like, if we don't know these ways, then we're already in debt. Because they replace this gratitude that we're born with, this happiness, this thank you that we're born with. We're born with thank you. We're born with thank you. We're born with gratitude, and that's something that we forget. And then what they do is they replace that gratitude, that thank you, into a place of entitlement, and that I need more. And then we start entering into the I conversation. Oh, I did this. I can do that. I become this. Colonial education is first. Knowledge is good. But knowing how to live and knowing yourself, that's wisdom, and that is better. And we get this, we come from a place of great confusion. Great confusion. And so we are here today. And as we walk, and as we listen, I'm going to tell you a story, but I'm going to remind everybody, and I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm not your teacher. And you are not my students. That's a colonial narrative. You are my brothers and you are my sisters, and I'm simply here reminding you, because all these teachings and all this wisdom and this beautiful heart stuff is already all around us, and if it's already around us, then it's already in us. So I'm just here gently to remind you that you are a beautiful person, and that you come from a beautiful place, and that you are unique, and that you are beautiful, and that you are powerful, and that you belong here with us. With us. And I think that's a different narrative many of you have felt out there. Felt that you don't belong. You're too sick. You don't look like the way they want you. Oh, you're brown. You don't belong here. You need to go over there. Then they tell you to be religious. You have to be religious. You need to find Jesus, God. Then you have to read a holy book to become holy. And you have to separate yourself because they're unholy. And then they build borders. Oh, I'm holy and I'm an American. I'm holy and now I'm a Canadian. I'm different because I have more money than you. And these are places of great confusion because you're listening to the wrong narrative. The narrative here is all around us. You see, listening is the first form of development, first form of communication. This world out here right now, in the few minutes that we've been here, they're pouring in information to us. They're pouring these trees here. They're speaking to us, telling us how to live a good life, how to ground, how to breathe, how to live with one another, how to speak to one another, how to communicate to each other. Because every tree here is speaking to every other tree here. But you know who's not listening? We're not listening because we don't know how. We don't know how. You know, they told me in school, listen with your ears. They gave me 2 ears, Wayne. You better use those. You better listen. 2 ears. And I come from a wounded place, so I couldn't even listen to you. Because these wounds that I had inside, they took over what I heard. So when somebody speaks and then we hear something else, that phenomenon, we right now, a lot of us are only listening to what we want to, not to what we need to. True listening takes courage. Courage to listen. Courage. Courage to walk outside the narrative that they told us to. Outside the narrative. This is what I do. I travel around the world and I bring the people together because they have forgotten that we are all brothers and sisters. Despite what they did to you, despite what happened to you, despite what they told you, despite your expectations, despite what your mom did, but maybe your parents weren't available because they're broken too. Maybe their grandparents, they were broken. We live in a system designed to break us, take us away, to remove the very love, but within ourselves. Our ability to adapt, to communicate, to listen. They removed all that and they replaced it with something else. And when I speak, I'm not angry. I'm passionate. I'm passionate because I love every single one of you. And I want you to live a good life. That is why we're here. I want you to live a good life. One with happiness and way of connection, a way to love, to communicate, to learn that intimacy, that we all want, we all crave. That when we don't have that intimacy, we reach out for other things, for those other behaviors, lustful behaviors, drunken behaviors, drug behaviors, eating behaviors, anti-life behaviors. We all done it, we've all done it. And that's okay. We're here to love you. We're here to tell you, you don't need to do that anymore. Now this right here, this is a new way. We're here to love you. We're here to guide you. We're here to take care of you in a way which you may not even understand yet. But we want this world is your ally. This place, this earth, the air, the seasons. This is your ally. These are your partners. There's something sacred in everything. There's something sacred in everything here. It's not just another tree. It's not just this. This is not just another circle. The spirits are here. We've called them in, and they are interested in you. They want to love you. The question is, are you ready to step in? Are you ready to really start listening? The grandmother said once, we listen from all five senses. And that is good. But what we're really doing is we're listening. Every cell in our body has ears. Every cell. Our whole body and our whole being is listening. Our whole body to everything we say. What we say is consent. The question is, what are you consenting to? Are you consenting to the narrative that they want you to be? They told you to look like this, to be tall, to be skinny, to be beautiful, to be blonde, and to have blue eyes, and then, Or can we just be happy with ourselves and what Creator gave us? One of those other things is, we also listen to everything that is said to us. And our body responds to that. Our bodies respond to that. Again, these trees have been standing nations have been talking to us the whole time. You may not hear it, but your body is responding to that. I've never had anyone walk through the woods and say, you know what, that was a really bad time. I feel worse. I feel going out drinking now. Because our body is responding and listening and aligning to this beautiful thing called life. The ocean, the grass, the green, the trees, the mountains, the rivers, the streams, the water, they're responding to us. Into me you see. What you may see a tree, but what is that tree seeing within you? How are you responding to the trees? Or are you just saying that's just fall is a nice color. Yeah, that's a nice color. It seems a little shallow for the ones who are giving you breath to you. It seems a little shallow. I think we should take our time and honor and respect those things that have offered us life. I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea every day to say thank you. Because as we grow older, and I've lost 5, 6 elders in the last 6 months. people that I relied on and I cared about, who loved me as I was being clumsy and I was being naive and spiritually naive and clumsy and thinking I was trying to be sneaky and, you know, thinking if I didn't say it or talk about it that nobody would know about it. I think if I didn't speak about those silent wars that we all had and that we all have, nobody would ever know. But the fact is, the trees know, the water knows, the seasons know, the mountains know, the wind knows, everybody knows. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. This is a story that I learned a long time ago, back in the early days of my walk, my journey to myself. There was a little boy. He's about 7 or 8, and it was the weekend, and he wanted to do something with his father. But his father was busy in the office, in the home office. He was working all week, and he had a home office, and he was trying to put the office together. And the little boy came into the office and said, Dad, why don't you come play with me? We can go to the park, we can do all this, we throw a football, and we can hit a baseball, let's go to the park and let's play. And the father said, well, after I finish what I'm doing here, then I can go do. Daddy, but how long will that be? How long will that be? Well, you know, when I could be a couple hours, could be half the day. Just let me. And then the little boy ran out. And then 4 or 5 minutes later, the boy ran back in and said, Daddy, now. Are you finished? Are you finished? Can we go out to the park? Can we walk the dog? Can we play? Can we go to the playground? And then his dad said again, well, I have some work here to do. Why don't you grab your little sister and go do something? So we did. And about 15 minutes later, the sister and the brother came in and said, Daddy, let's go out and let's go do something. Let's go out to the park. And then finally, he said, okay. He took out a puzzle from the closet, and it was a map of the world. And he said, you to his daughter and to his son. I said, when you can put this together, then I can go out and I can go play with you. And so the little girl and the little boy, they took the map and they ran out. They ran out. And about 5 minutes later, they came back in and said, Dad, we're finished. And the dad kind of looked at him a little funny and said, well, how'd you finish so fast? And the little girl says, I'll show you. And so he took the hand of her dad and walked over to the map, and the map was finished and complete. And she said, we found a man on the back of the world. And when we put the man together, we put the world together. So we're going to go around we're going to polite to introduce ourselves. What brought you here? Again, you know, there's the why you're here. You know, maybe some of you don't know your why. Maybe your whys have evolved. And some of you have sat in the circles. Some of you have sat in the circle before. Maybe your why has changed. Maybe your why has evolved, and that's a good thing. So we're going to go around and just introduce yourself and just a little bit about the why you're here. You can start with this.